Great stuff by Canada as we welcome you back inside our One Soccer studio. You continue to watch Matchday Live presented by CIBC. This was a game the Canadians were expected to win. It was a team they were expected to dominate. And check, 6-0 the final here. But just what else impressed you about Canada's performance?
You know what, I love that they didn't stop after 1 goal or 2 goals. They kept going because I think it's very easy to get caught up when you're playing a team that you're expected to beat. Sometimes you play down to their level, you go in overconfident. So I did love that Canada stuck with it. Whoever came in, they kept up the intensity and they just kept going for goals. So I was really impressed with them to be able to keep that intensity from minute 1 all the way through.
Just to piggyback off of what Jess said as well, it's not easy to keep a tempo in a game for a team that you're better than. An inferior team, sometimes you can take an extra touch because you're that much better, you're that much stronger, you're that much faster. But you can see with Canada tonight that they had a clear vision of how they wanted to play, and they executed that. Specifically in the first half, you can see going down that right side, but you can see with Bev Priestman that work in the 3-4-3 going forward. You can see how everyone knows their role and they're perfecting it. Now they just have to do it against better competition.
Something Eva Tavares was saying as well just near the end of that game where she just wanted to see Canada clean up perhaps a little bit of that discipline on the defensive side of the ball, and knowing that when you do have a game in control, maybe you don't necessarily have to go for certain challenges. We saw Chloe Lacasse go and we all kind of held our breath. We've already seen Nichelle Prince leave this game. Lacasse has had a fantastic game. You know, we're going to dive into her in just a moment. But what do you make about that, and maybe a little bit more control and understanding that if things have the ability to get sloppy, have the ability to lead to injury, you just kind of pull back and play around with the ball a little bit more when you know you have that skill to do so?
I can hear where Eva's coming from, but I think as well, if you start thinking about those things, like, pulling out of tackles or going 70%, that's when you get injured. I think for Canada, and especially how complex this tournament is, you have to go out and score 6-7 goals. If you feel like you can dominate a team, it's all about punishing them. And that's what I asked for in the beginning of this game and pregame. I said goals, because this is what this tournament could come down to after the 3 games, right? You have to be looking at, you want to have the best record possible, make sure you score the most goals that you could. So tonight, I think this was great for Canada overall.
Yeah, and just to your point, you know, I do think that overall they were great and they did finish the chances they had, but there were a few chances that I think they could clean up, could be a little bit more clinical within that final third, because when you are playing a better opponent, you might not get, 10 shots on goal, you might only get 1 or 2. So I do think those, there was a few that Haidema had, there was quite a few in and around that box. They need to be finished, they're just easy tap-ins. So other than that, though, overall they did do well, they finished a lot of their chances, but I do think there still needs to be a little bit more clinicalness in and around that 6.
A lot of performances to highlight, one in particular. I mean, it has to be Chloe Lacasse. So this is our Gatorade performance of the match. A goal, and I almost started to lose count, but I'm pretty sure it was 3 assists. 1 goal, 3 assists, could have had 4. She gets the scoring going in this one early on, 3rd minute, and she was playing on the right side. Jordan, as we know, Ashley Lawrence joined the team late, but Priestman just wanted her to rest up a little bit more. It's not that she was out because of injury, but it just seems like wherever you play Chloe, she looks good.
Yeah, now Andy, I'm confused. I am thoroughly confused. Because Lacasse, for me, if you're putting her in the front 3, you could easily see it, and she's grown into that position where that could be hers on the left side. Then you're playing right wing back where, for me, Ashley Lawrence is dynamite there, gives an assist a game. I know you're playing El Salvador, but Chloe Lacasse was involved. It seemed like everything.
Yeah.
Everything down the right side had energy. She was an engine, went forward, picked out crosses, cut inside, did everything well. So Bev Priestman has some decisions to make, absolutely.
Oh, for sure. And that right side, I mean, in their pregame show, we talked about the left side and how there was obviously some concern there with no Sydney Collins, and we also know no Jade Revere, and we know Ashley Chapman is not there, or Alicia Chapman, excuse me. But that right side looked fantastic. 3 goals in that first half, all created on that right side, and, Chloe Lacasse, of course, being part of it. But what did you like as well about the performance in the middle? I know you were highlighting Quinn, Jordan, in that halftime.
Yeah, I loved just how methodical the team was, especially with the first 3 goals. Started on the left this side, but then ends up on the right, and you see that pass, Jay Rose plays to Leon, and Lacasse comes in and says, yep, this is my time. And then you shoot on target, you get a goal. This is what, a deflection, but that's what you need. You can play in these games, Andy, and you can miss a chance, and El Salvador could feed off of that, right? Just, they could be like, you know what, they should be winning, but they're not. But Canada really just went for it and really just started growing and growing as the game went on.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw that those partnerships that we spoke about on the flank. Obviously, today we saw the Cass and Leon build a really great one. We didn't see it as much on the left side, but once Lawrence comes back into the mix, I think that you're going to have combination play on both sides, no matter who's there, because I think they are getting a lot more comfortable in this, in their new role, in this new formation. So, yeah, I think overall, as they continue to play this formation, they're just going to continue to get better. Yeah,
and this one, for me, I love this third goal as well, because I think Canada's a crossing team. But what I like is that the transition here, right? The ball goes forward, Haidema gets it already. Chloe Lacasse knows where she needs to be. And this is what happens when you have players that work in their position. You get tap-ins, and Leon is not going to score an easier goal. But that comes from a team believing in what they need to do and getting into those positions.
The evolution of Adriana Leon has just been amazing to watch. I mean, a player who was a star with the team and then fell out of favor and then worked her way back and then was coming off the bench. And now you're sitting here going, how do you have a game where she's not starting?
Yeah.
Right? Gets the brace here tonight. You just saw that goal right there, scores on a penalty kick, which we'll be showing you a little later on in the show. But here she is after the 6-0 victory.
In those instances. Yeah, I thought we had a good match. I thought we played well. We were moving off the ball really well and working together as a team. So I thought, for the first game back together, I thought we did a great job.
Wonderful. And you scored 2 goals. 2 goals in a 6-0 match is quite significant. How do you think that influences your mentality and your confidence moving forward for your next matches?
Yeah, it's definitely nice to get on the score sheet and put 2 goals in. Yeah, I mean, it was nice, and hopefully it continues. But yeah, it was a good start.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Oh my God, I feel like I could not get my...
And she's been trying to get that regular time, as we know, playing in the WSL, then making the move to the NWSL, and just wasn't getting the playing time. It was that big move to Manchester United that we were all excited about, but now makes the move back and is now with Aston Villa and finally getting some minutes. So looking good there for Adriana Leon. Well, we know that Sabrina D'Angelo wasn't all that busy for Canada here tonight, but Serrano on El Salvador side was. This is the 30th minute, making the save off of Zadorsky. And you always got to feel for a goalkeeper when 6 go past. But hopefully, Jordan, she can look at that and know that she did make a save there.
It's a great save. It's a great save. The reactive save right there. But it's hard for keepers to go down and go down that fast. But marvelous save there.
Sorry, I was just checking something on my phone. I wanted to... No, let me tell you something. As you caught me looking at my phone, and it's not that I don't trust sometimes, but I got a little mixed up in my own head of West Ham, where Adriana Leon once was, and I wanted to make sure that it was Aston Villa.
So I was right?
You were right.
Why are you disappointed?
No. It's not that I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that I got caught looking at my phone, double-checking your stats.
It's okay.
The colors are the same.
No trust between us.
Disagreeing with you is fun,
I got
just
it.
so you know.
I'm just saying. Anyways, needless to say, she's having herself a great showing with the national team. When we come back, we'll look at what some of the substitutions did when they came on for Canada. Once again, the debate's going to rage on over who should get that starting role in midfield between Quinn and Grosso, between the two of you. But Grosso looked great. You know what? So did the young Olivia Smith. Full-time stats brought to you by Toyota. Canada getting the job done here in their first group stage game at the Gold Cup. 6-0, they are winners. We heard from Adriana Leon, who picked up the brace here tonight. And one of the goals scored by Olivia Smith, getting her first for country. We're going to talk about her in just a moment as we welcome you back to Matchday Live. Andy Petrillo, Jordan Wilson, and Jess Lisi with you. Julia Grosso gets subbed into this one. Bev Friesman, by the way, using all 5 of her subs. It's actually Jessie Fleming who comes out. I was actually joking at halftime. I said, the two of you can't decide who needs to partner with Jessie Fleming. I said, so maybe just take Jessie out and have Quinn and Grosso next to each other. Bev has, speakers or something in here somewhere. She's listening. But Grosso obviously creates the play that gets the penalty.
Yeah, I thought Grosso did well when she came on. I've always spoken about the fact that she's great in the attack. She really takes the ball forward. She's able to draw people in. And ultimately, this is what she's doing here. She's getting forward. She's able to use her ability. And she ends up drawing a PK, right? You want your midfielder up that field. Here we go, taking people on, getting in there. She doesn't stop. She's like, do I go for the shot? Do I go for the cross? You know what? I'm going to get the handball. So I think that Grosso just continuously shows her ability to go forward and her ability to make a difference, even if it's as simple as drawing that PK. That's not happening if you don't take that risk and take that chance to go at people. And obviously, there's a great finish by Leon. So I just think that Grosso continues to show that she does deserve to be on the field.
Continues to grow. We know she plies her trade with Juventus. Her contract is up in June. There's already reports right now that they've tabled her an offer to remain there. She was last year's midfielder of the year in Serie A. And from a goal perspective, I believe she had 3 in 15 last year. She already has 5 in 20 now. So we're seeing that part of her game really increase, and that's part of that experience playing over in Europe. Olivia Smith, she comes in. Again, pregame, I'm trying to go back to the players. So, you know, Jordan was arguing for Quinn to get the starting 11 role at the Olympics. Jess was arguing for Julia Grosso. And when it comes to Olivia Smith, very young, you want her there. That is a wild card for you.
That
you
is.
could even, you know, be on that 18-player roster. She comes on in. It feels, okay, so first of all, I want to get to the fact that she did contribute to a goal. She earns the corner, gets the corner, and a goal is scored. Can I just say, I feel, and I understand it's got to go to VAR, but I just kind of feel a little bit like that celebration was robbed.
Yeah, it hurts, right? It's your first one. You want to be able to beat your chest and be all excited and knee slide or whatever it is. But from the second she came on, Olivia Smith, she just expressed herself. And this is what you want to see from attacking players. And I think specifically with Canada, you need this in this squad. Great corner. Kadisha Buchanan gets her head on it. But again, it's the venom what that corner comes with, right? She just has to redirect it. I think her link-up play was great, but this with that goal, beautiful. Aldu, you see with Chloe Lacasse, gets to get that finish, right? Perfect link-up play here. And you see her comfortable around the ball, but this right here, this is something that Bev will definitely talk about tomorrow at training. Just a beautiful team goal, playing one touch, playing forward. And the person I believe in, the 19-year-old Olivia Smith, scoring and assisting the first time she plays a full half.
How does that, I mean, have you ever been in that situation?
Scored a goal and assist?
No.
Because I haven't.
Nope. But have you ever been in a situation where you score a goal and you're like, yeah, and then you hear a whistle go, no.
I don't even want to get into, I don't know how you feel about this, but I don't even want to get into the VAR situation. But it's like one of those things where 2 minutes goes by and then poor Olivia Smith is just like,
yeah, especially for how great she did. You know, you wanted her to have that celebration and just live it out to the fullest. So
because it's the first goal.
Absolutely.
I get it. VAR,
it's a great goal as well.
Yeah.
That's fine. You want to make sure it's not offside. I get it. It's all good, whatever. But it was the fact that it's just her first goal for country. But either way, looking really good and contributes to Canada's success here tonight against El Salvador. If you're also interested in Concacaf Champions Cup, then you've just got to tune in right here to One Soccer. It'll be leg 2 between CPL side Cavalry and MLS side Orlando. Orlando dominant last night in leg 1, a 3-0 victory for them. But the Cavs, of course, still have a story to tell, still have a league to represent as they go into Orlando next week. Join us right here at 5:30 p.m. ET for the pregame show. 6-0, the final here, Canada over El Salvador. We'll wrap up and look ahead to Paraguay next. 2 more group stage games for Canada. Paraguay is next on Sunday, and then they take on Costa Rica Wednesday. Paraguay defeating Costa Rica earlier today. Sunday, we get things going at 5 p.m. ET. So this is how the group looks with Paraguay winning. They, too, are on 3 points, just like Canada after the victory here tonight. And this is why oftentimes goals matter. So you can see the goal differential +6. The top 2 in each group move on to the quarterfinals, plus the top 2 third best teams. Andy, Jordan, and Jess still with you. There is a little bit of negative news here. Probably we'll know more tomorrow, but we know that Nichelle Prince got subbed out of this game in the 43rd minute. This is somebody who I think we all were in agreement is kind of like that out-and-out number 9 as well. Has looked really good there. That would be her spot to lose. She missed significant time from 2022 going into 2023 with an Achilles injury. Goes down here, Jess, and calls to be subbed.
Yeah, this is definitely not something you want to see. You know, you feel for her. She is coming back from a long injury, and it's hard to be back on the pitch and finally feel like yourself again, being 10 months out, you had said. You know, it's you feel confident again. She's finally scoring again. She's doing everything she's great at, and you have a little setback like this. So I am hoping for her sake and for Canada's sake as well that, it's just something small and she's able to be back in the lineup. Maybe not for the next game, maybe rest it, but, move on from that and be available for this tournament.
Yeah, we hope it's small. We hope it's nothing severe, but also for Bev Priestman, you're not going to play her going into Sunday, right? This is just still a time to rest her, also because of the competition. So I guess the number one question is who you're playing at that number 9 position. And for me, I think even though at home people will say I kept her out of the Olympic roster, I think this is Deanne Rose's time to play right down the middle of that number 9 spot. I think you just want to see a bit more from her.
Okay, so let me ask you, as we look ahead to the next game against Paraguay, what are some of the, is that the, if Nichelle Prince is out, who is that Deanne Rose for you? How is that attacking line looking for you?
Yeah, I have no problems playing Deanne Rose right down the middle at the number 9. I think as well you have to play Leon in her specific spot where she played tonight. And then it's tough for me because I really do like Lacasse up there in the front, but then it's like a night like tonight, down the right side. But then I don't want to put Lawrence back on the left. I love Lawrence going down the right side, but there's just a lot to do, and this is why I'm glad I'm not Bev Priestman.
But Lacasse looks great on the left as well. Let's not forget, it was her and Sydney Collins who were looking really good, especially in those 2 qualifiers against Jamaica.
Yes.
She can play on the right.
She can, and she played on the left, but then she was inside, right? She wasn't. Yeah, she wasn't the left wing back, but she could do it. After a performance like tonight, it's hard to count. Lacasse can play center back. She was exceptional tonight, so it's hard for me to say that she couldn't be playing in a certain spot on Sunday.
What's a change you're predicting?
Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking she's going to put Deanne Rose up top as well. I do think we'll see Lacasse in that position that she was in, possibly shift her to the left. I think he'll put Lawrence back on the right, but I just think with what they have at this current moment, they have to keep Lacasse as one of those outside mids. In an ideal world, Lacasse is being pushed up and there is somebody else to play there, but those are the only changes I'm making.
Olivia Smith gets the start. No?
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Why not?
Come on.
Come on. Stop it. 6-0. Canada victorious here tonight in their first ever matchup at the senior level against El Salvador. Great start for the Canadians in this inaugural competition, the Gold Cup. Another chance to lift a trophy as they continue their preparations towards Paris to defend their Olympic title. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you again for Game 2 on Sunday.